tonight on CTV News at 5.
Tonight's going to be a big game. It's going to be jam-packed in here.
Blue Jays fever heats up. Fans rally behind the team's epic playoff push. I'm on the top of the world, looking down. Irish aspirations achieved. A Nova Scotia choir strikes the right chord, and gold in Killarney.
So we can figure out exactly what the story is and how that book got to Cape Breton.
Old Atlas, this vintage find has accumulated some serious mileage.
Mostly cloudy with some patchy drizzle tonight. The sun breaks through a bit more this weekend.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Pano-Palace. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, Blue Jays fever. It's one thing most Canadians can agree on these days. Go Jays, go. After 2 impressive wins at the ALCS, fans are flocking to the hype. As CTV's Derek Haggett shows us, whether you're a diehard or just hitching a ride on the old bandwagon, Blue Jays fever is contagious and catching. Derek.
It sure is, Maria, and if it wasn't obvious enough, I am a Blue Jays superfan. Of course, Toronto evened their series last night in Seattle and are just 2 games away from the World Series. That would be their first appearance since 1993. People across the country are getting swept up in Blue Jays fever, including here in Moncton.
After 2 duds on their home field, the Blue Jays found their way in Seattle and are having their best postseason run in a decade. They've grabbed the attention of millions of Canadians in every corner of the country, including here at this sports shop.
Even if we're selling hockey gear or even if we're in baseball, it's like, have you seen the Jays game? And it's part of the conversation. It's almost like the dialogue that we have going on here.
Stuff's been rolling off the shelves, so a bunch of Blue Jays, like merch getting out there. I bought one myself with that's why I started working here, get the discount for the Blue Jays.
The Jays haven't won it all since 1993 when they clinched back-to-back World Series titles.
Excited about the Jays. Remember 92 and 93 when it's exciting baseball. They figured out how to play again going out west, so we're hoping for the best tonight, and hopefully we win tonight in Seattle.
There's been big turnouts and a lot of positivity at this Dieppe Sports Bar.
We've had great crowds, enthusiastic crowds. The first 2 they lost there, there was people like, I don't know, some skeptic, but it's like, they're going to do it. They're going to come back.
The 1-2 pitch. Got him!
Former sports reporter Barry Davis covered the team for over 20 years. He says there's no doubt the Jays are Canada's team.
I saw similar things with the Toronto Raptors when they won the championship. So, it's a shame that this is the only team in Canada, but when it gets to this point, you got to jump on the bandwagon and cheer them on.
This longtime fan is loving the deep playoff run and has a theory on why so many people have Blue Jays fever.
They're kind of different than the team they had in 2015 and 16, which I would say had some bigger personalities on it. This team seems to be more of a likable team, and I think that's probably why you see more fans jumping on board, because they're a fun team to watch.
Blue Jays fans won't have to wait long for the next game. First pitch from Seattle is about 2 hours from now. And no matter what happens tonight, Game 6 will be back in Toronto on Sunday. Almost time to play ball. Maria.
Thank you, Derek. I know you'll be watching CTV's Derek Haggett for us in Moncton tonight. And that brings us to tonight's web poll. We are asking, have you jumped on the Blue Jays bandwagon? These are your options. Yes, I'm now rooting for the Blue Jays, or no, I'm rooting for another team. Your next option is, I've always been a Blue Jays fan, and finally, I don't follow baseball. Just go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in and to see the latest poll results. I am very proud to admit that I have fully jumped on the Blue Jays bandwagon, Jesse. I think you were already on it, though, huh?
Maybe Derek picked you up a hat there we don't know about.
Oh, that satin jacket.
Yeah, oh my
awesome,
gosh.
Huh?
You could pull that off for sure. Yeah, go Blue Jays indeed. There's lots of news we're looking at today, though, as well. The federal government has announced that it's adding more border officers at crossings across the country. Today, officials showed us some of the resources that are needed at the Woodstock crossing. There's no word yet just how many new staff will be located in New Brunswick at the border there. And a senseless act of vandalism to tell you about tonight. More than 40 headstones, historic ones at that, at the Elmwood Cemetery in Moncton have been damaged, as you see. It took place in that historic cemetery. And some of the monuments, they're close to 200 years old. We'll have some details and reaction to that at 6 as well. And it's a precious commodity. Pallets loaded with cases of water are being delivered to fire stations around Nova Scotia community centres across the Halifax region as well. It's drinking water for people whose wells have gone dry. There's been thousands of cases and they've been delivered, and we're going to have that story as well to bring you later on. For now, let's bring in CTV meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell, who's in the Weather Centre, for a look at how the weather's shaping up ahead of this weekend. Hey, Kaylin.
Hey there, Jesse. So we do have a little bit of wet weather in the region, but it's mostly in the form of some patchy, very light drizzle. So that's not really going to mount up to much over the last 48 hours. There were parts of the Maritimes and showery conditions that picked up rainfall amounts ranging from trace up to around several millimeters, with just a few spots seeing over 10 millimeters of rain. If we're looking for more significant wet weather in the forecast, it looks like showers could be more widespread on Tuesday of next week with a chance at rain on Thursday. In the meantime, heading into the early evening, it is cool across the region with temperatures mostly in the high single digits and the low teens. That's being accompanied by a bit of a breezy north wind. It's being sustained between around 10 and 30 kilometers per hour. We are getting some gusts reported between 30 and 40 kilometers per hour. The wind gusts will come down a little bit as we move towards midnight, but the wind will remain pretty steady out of the north, and it's going to be a north and northeast wind around for the start of the weekend as well. Taking a look at things on radar and satellite, plenty of cloud cover still in place across the region, and that will carry on into the night hours. And underneath that cloud cover, a little bit of patchy drizzle. It is expected to gradually break up, though, as we move through the weekend as a little ridge of high pressure builds in from the west. So I will have more on that, the details of the weekend forecast, when I'm back just a little bit later on. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. We're headed to Prince Edward Island for our next story. Canadian filmmakers are in Charlottetown for the city's film festival. As CTV's Maria Saru reports, it might be more intimate than some of the other film festivals in the country, but directors say that means more face time with the right people.
The Charlottetown Film Festival may be smaller than others, but it has big benefits for filmmakers, connecting them with industry leaders to push their projects along.
This event specifically, we're bringing in those exact partners, the people who can help your career get to the next level, help you get your start, or help your story find a larger audience.
This year's slate pulls in stories from across Canada, including Agatha's Almanac by Saskatchewan-based director Emily Atkins, and Chloé Robichaud's Two Women, a remake of the 70s Quebec cult classic. Newfoundland-based director Justin Oakey is flying in. The networking is worth it, he says.
Several people that live in Ontario, live in Quebec, people that I've been in touch with, other producers, they all wrote me to say, hey, I'm actually going to be there for that panel, like, let's connect.
His latest film, Hang Ashore, is a thriller about a woman haunted by recurring dreams who travels to a remote fishing village to uncover buried secrets. Banners promoting the festival are all over the city. There's one right behind me, and screenings will run through the weekend with panels stacked in between. There's also a pitching session where one PEI creator will leave with a $10,000 grand prize. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Thank you, Maria. Time for our first break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, Seaside a Cappella hits a high note.
We have just returned from a contest in Ireland. It couldn't have been any better because we came home with these beautiful gold medals.
We'll talk about that hardware and their golden glow when CTV News at 5 returns. Welcome back. The New Brunswick Hospital Home Lottery is well underway, and the early bird deadline is midnight tonight. Here's Move 106.9 Sarah Betts with a couple of guests to talk about the prizes and the impact.
Hello, we are coming to you from this gorgeous view, all supporting the New Brunswick Hospital Home Lottery. We are here on Grand Lake in the Lakefront Cottage, the early bird prize this year, which is very important. We'll talk about that in a sec. We're with some of the people who brought this to life. Chris Medea, General Manager with Kent Homes, and Shannon Hunter, CEO and President of the St. John Regional Hospital Foundation. Chris, we'll start with this gorgeous cottage. Tell us everything.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for having me. So this is a 1,600 square foot cottage, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Lovely open concept kitchen, living room, dining area. And as you can see behind me, walks straight out to the water. Hot tub on the deck, so once you're down in the water, you can jump straight into the hot tub.
Gorgeous. What would you say is your favorite feature?
I love this room here. So in this room here, you got a fireplace to my left. You've got open concept kitchen. You can have a quiet time to yourself to read a book or have family or friends over to celebrate whatever you're celebrating.
Gorgeous. Shannon, what would you say is your favorite area?
Well, it's funny. I always say it doesn't really feel like a cottage. It feels like a home. No, I think I agree. The entertaining space. I love to entertain. So this is absolutely a dream come true for anybody who's going to win this space. Just phenomenal.
Totally. And all of this, of course, supporting the New Brunswick Hospital Home Lottery. Tell us about the impact of that.
Absolutely. This is our 17th year, and this program has raised over $20 million in net proceeds. So, I mean, that is huge for healthcare for the province of New Brunswick. This year particularly, we're so excited that the proceeds from the New Brunswick Hospital Home Lottery will go to support our capital campaign, which is to bring to the province the first cardiac-enabled hybrid OR. So that's an operating room that will be for the New Brunswick Heart Centre, which services over 1 million patients, as well as one of Canada's first spinal robotics programs. So really impactful for patients living with chronic pain.
Incredible. And big day today, early bird prize deadline tonight at midnight. Where can we get tickets?
Well, the easiest is online, so NewBrunswickHospitalHomeLottery.com or the 1-800 number, which I know will be on the TV screen at the bottom. So, but yes, those are the two best ways.
Wonderful. NBHospitalHomeLottery.com. Early bird prize deadline midnight tonight. Get that to all support healthcare in New Brunswick.
There you go. You've been warned.
That's right.
Deadline tonight. All right. What a beautiful place to enjoy a day like today.
Yeah, I mean, we had some cloud cover around the Maritimes today. It had that sort of cool fall feel to the air and a little bit of patchy drizzle as well. These geese, though, they found a nice place to set up and maybe take a little bit of rest in the Fredericton area today. I know nobody's going to be disturbing them along their walk. I'm going to have more on the weather forecast, the weekend weather forecast, after the break.
Welcome back to CTV News at 5. Kaylin Mitchell joins us once again. Kaylin, it's been kind of an unusual October where the weather is concerned, but things are starting to feel a little more normal these days, huh?
A little bit of a cooler, damper feel to the air. We certainly need more rain. There's no doubt about that. I mean, October is typically one of the wettest months of the year, but so far, not this October. I'd imagine it's going to be another month where we finish below the monthly averages. Let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset times. We're looking at Penhorn Lake here in Halifax County, and you can see some of that cloud cover there in the background. As we take a look at our weather systems map, barometric pressure is a little bit towards the lower side. There's still a little bit of patchy drizzle around the Maritime region because we're under the influence of this strong low pressure system that's sitting out over the ocean waters of the Atlantic. It's not really getting any closer to us in the Maritimes, but it's also very slow moving. It's keeping some air moving in off the North Atlantic. That is giving us that cool, damp feel to the air. Now moving through the weekend forecast, it's a weak ridge of high pressure that's going to be arriving. That high pressure system centered over the eastern United States, and that should work to break up the cloud cover a little bit gradually through the weekend. So taking a look at things on radar right now, not a lot is showing up, but a little bit of light precipitation is being reported in areas like eastern New Brunswick, especially in the southeast of the province, parts of Prince Edward Island, and northern eastern areas of Nova Scotia. A little bit of patchy drizzle for those areas could carry on for both tonight as well as for tomorrow. As we take a look at our forecast timeline, it's also expected to be plenty of cloud cover for most of the Maritimes tonight. That's showing up here in through the grays, where it does clear up a little bit, up around the northwestern corner of New Brunswick, where the sky does clear. Temperatures are going to turn a little bit chillier. Some lows tonight up in the northwestern corner of New Brunswick between 0 and 4 degrees. Start of the day for tomorrow will be cloudy for Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, eastern and southern areas of New Brunswick, a mix of sun and cloud in the northwestern half of New Brunswick. And that province, for many areas, gets over to a mix of sun and cloud as we move into Saturday afternoon. It does remain a little bit in the cloudier side for both Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia, though like today, that cloud cover will occasionally break to some peaks of sunshine, maybe a little bit of blue sky. Taking a look at rainfall amounts expected as we move through tonight and into Saturday morning. In that very light drizzle, you can see in most cases trace amounts, maybe 1 millimeter or 2 here or there. Winds in the forecast for Saturday will remain out of the north and northeast. They're going to be on the breezy to blustery side, sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour for New Brunswick, but 20 with gusts up to 40 kilometers per hour for Prince Edward Island and for Nova Scotia. Though some exposed parts of the coastlines of Nova Scotia could reach some peak wind gusts closer to 50. Lows in the forecast for tonight for the province of New Brunswick between 0 and 8 degrees. Mostly lows of 8 to 10 for Prince Edward Island tonight and lows of 8 to 11 for Nova Scotia. Highs in the forecast for tomorrow for New Brunswick, mostly between 14 and 17, though 12 degrees for Moncton in the southeast, 12 for Charlottetown and many communities in Prince Edward Island, and high temperatures on Saturday for Nova Scotia between 12 and 16. For the end of the weekend, on Sunday, that little ridge of high pressure is in place. A mix of sun and cloud expected for New Brunswick, western areas of Nova Scotia, and western parts of Prince Edward Island. Cloudy with sunny breaks for eastern parts of Prince Edward Island and eastern areas of Nova Scotia. Temperatures step up a couple of degrees, so the high temperatures around the mid to high teens. Let's take a look at our Weather Watcher for tonight. And tonight's Weather Watcher is coming in from 7-year-old Blair Weber from Upper Tantallon, Nova Scotia. Blair has sent us a drawing of a very happy-looking rainbow flanked by some showers. Thank you, Blair. And Weather Watchers can come in anytime to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So we first introduced you to Bridgewater's Seaside a cappella a few months ago as they prepared to head to Ireland for a competition. Well, now, as CTV's Mike Lamb shows us, they've returned and they're basking in a golden glow.
5, 6, 7, 8.
If you ever go across the sea to Ireland.
We are Seaside a cappella in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia.
We rise again in the waves out on.
We're relatively new as far as an a cappella chorus goes. We were started in 2017. I started the chorus. I'm the proud founder of the chorus. The first competition we did was in 2019. 3 international contests in the United States, placing 6th, 7th, and 5th. We have just returned from a contest in Ireland, first Canadians ever to compete in that contest.
Shining star, when the moon is in the sky and the clouds are dancing by.
Well, it actually couldn't have been any better because we came home with these beautiful gold medals. We scored higher than we've ever scored before. So in terms of evaluating the progress that we're making as a chorus, it was absolutely great. It gave us a great new benchmark, and we're thrilled about that.
I'm on the top of the world looking down.
We have an 8-year-old and a 93-year-old. We have heard this is the youngest and the oldest members who have achieved a gold medal on their contest stage. Isn't that exciting?
Things are not the same.
It was the most complex choreography routine that we have ever done. We started with just teaching the members to emote facially and with good body language. And now they're doing, it's like Broadway and Bridgewater. I mean, they're doing some really, really sophisticated choreography stuff. They were just absolutely wonderful students. They retain well, they learn well. Very positive spirit, and they developed a very strong sisterhood within the chorus. I knew that I was taking champions into this chorus, whatever the judges were going to think of them. And I could not be more proud to say that the judges recognized that and awarded us with the gold medals.
Wow, you look and sound amazing. Congratulations, and I love that. Broadway in Bridgewater, outstanding. By the way, the ladies had time to take a tour of Ireland and performed an impromptu version of the Maritime classic, We Rise Again, which you did hear a little bit there of, on the cliffs of Moher. Beautiful, just love that. Well done. All right, taking a break here on CTV News at 5. When we come back, though, we'll put the spotlight on a thrift store treasure.
I'm Ryan McDonald in Sydney, where recently a woman who was thrifting found an old atlas that appears to be nearly 200 years old and may just have a connection between Cape Breton and another place far away here on the continent. We'll get into the story coming up.
Start your morning with us for what you need to start your day. News, weather, and even a little fun. Your Morning Atlantic with Amanda Devison, Crystal Garrett, and Latavia Beezer. Weekdays from 6 to 9 on CTV2 and CTVAtlantic.ca.
Welcome back. You never know what you might find when you go thrifting around here. As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, a Cape Breton woman has unearthed an old book that just might connect people nearly 2 centuries apart.
Inside this storage shed is an old book that Kayla Miller believes is a link to the past and a connection between 2 places that are a long distance apart.
A couple weeks ago, I just started a little business, and I decided to go to do an estate sale up in Marguerite.
In the basement of that home, she found a stack of magazines from the 1950s. When she got home and looked through them, she discovered what appears to be a school atlas dating back to the mid-19th century.
So I looked into it, and that copy of the geography book was only used between 1853 and 1866, and then they used a new edition.
Inside is an inscription. It's signed Lizzie Bishop, Henderson, Texas. It also says to Maggie. After some research, Kayla Miller believes it was written to a young girl from Texas named Maggie Yates. As for how either of those girls and this book ended up in Cape Breton, Miller has a theory.
It was during the Civil War era, and a lot of people ended up migrating here as well. And that is when we believe that maybe Lizzie Bishop came here with her family for safety.
Lately, Miller has been in contact with a man in Henderson County to try and find some descendants in hopes of solving the mystery.
So he is looking into it, helping me figure out exactly where maybe some family members are, so we can figure out exactly what the story is and how that book got to Cape Breton.
And though the old atlas normally remains safely in plastic behind a locked door, she decided to show it off here in case anyone else might have some clues.
And hopefully with this, maybe someone comes forward and they have some information regarding it as well.
For now, at least, it remains a mystery, one that's about 170 years in the making. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Ooh, and if we get any leads or figure anything out, we'd love to share it with you as well.
That piece of history you can hold right in your hand there.
Cool. Yeah, new meaning to coffee table book.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, how's it looking out there?
Well, the weekend weather is generally fair for an October weekend in the Maritimes. We need more rain. We got a couple shots at it coming up next week, so I'll have more on that coming up CTV News at 6.
We'll see you and Jesse at 6 o'clock. I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. The national news is next.